Hill. Being a successful basketball player and businessman allows me to support one of my greatest passions, contemporary art. In this program, we will look at the theme of play in art. I think I know a thing or two about playing. But there are big differences between an athlete and an artist. For one thing, we get to watch athletes play live. We rarely get to see an artist playing. We only see the results of their play, their artwork. This show takes us into the artist's studio to catch a glimpse of their own private courts. Welcome to Art 21. Check it out.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this event on this beautiful Sunday evening. My name is Joeun. It is spelled J-O-E-U-N, but it sounds like Joan, as in Joan of Arcade. However, the idea that my voice and attitude will be filmed and even archived absolutely horrifies me. So I am introducing myself with my purchased voice. Heather, please excuse me if you feel as if I am distant from you, but I am here.
But I am here, right here. FYI, despite my absence from the stage, my heart's still beating faster and faster. My shoulders are shivering and I'm going to faint. All I want is for this to be over. I hope you're not looking at me, please. Please don't. You know, in my opinion, doing something, well, anything on a stage facing audiences with those eyes, you know, those eyes, full of expectation, is definitely only for somebody who has a special talent for that, which I wish to obtain someday, but not today. Maybe in the future I will consider taking lessons.
I like to see people's hand in the world.
I think there's a fine line between perpetuating something.
I was in search of an image that could best articulate
I
American.
think having that extreme color is amazing.
It's about a really very fundamental act of making. It's about revealing something.
No one really wants perfection. We're obsessed with perfection.
The institution, the stage, is unapproachable, wholly monstrous. If I have a choice next time, I shall avoid this for the sake of everyone's well-being, especially when I know nothing except what I know, and what I know is nobody's business, so that I keep getting discouraged to talk about what I know and do. I hate to waste one's time. Even then, I doubt the quality of what I know and its meaningfulness. Then the only justification I have here rests on all the stories that come to me voluntarily. They just walked in, without my solicitation, but maybe a hint of curation. The door is open as life continues. Stories are free to walk in and grab what they want from me and leave what they don't. If they want to stay with me, they shall also have that option open. Oh, the doubt, the fundamental doubt. I shall carry on. Talking about nothing is as difficult as talking profoundly about something. In fact, you can infinitely learn something fresher to you, but it's nearly impossible to unlearn something that you have learned and are familiar with. Perhaps it can only be possible by getting distracted or by forgetting. Oh, by the way, if you are picturing the Korean soap operas in which the protagonists often lose their memories and restart their lives, I hope you don't aspire to the car crashes. Those are fiction. It doesn't guarantee your unlearningness. If you yearn to start over, like myself, your family loves you, so forget that. These are fiction.
나를 알아요?
누구세요?
It might be conceivable that the events might happen to someone, but at a very low percentage. But, you know what? I will take my words back. Everything can happen to everyone, anytime, anywhere in one's life, just like fiction. Therefore, I don't believe in fiction, because everything is the real thing. Oh, time. The time's been spent so hastily, and I have talked about nothingness. I talked about nothing. I feel burdened to tell you something more momentous because I am on a stage, but I am too skeptical about its
usefulness. I hate waste one's time.
Have you had sleepless nights lately? And you looked through all the photos on your phone that synced from your previous, pre-previous, and pre-previous phones that were located. How lovely it would be if I could bring my past back to the present whenever I wanted, as I could do on my phone. Oh, maybe it will utterly perplex my life. It will certainly confuse my cloud data storage, and I never know how that works. Thus, I shall leave it alone. Oh, time, the time. I wish I were not a slave of this merciless monster. I desperately wish to be its master. Being a master of time is one thing I deeply aspire to, more than anything, despite the uncertainty that all other desires are momentary. Every night I can't sleep because I think of all the monstrous possible impossibleness that absolutely mesmerizes my brain and heart with reverie, nostalgia, and regrets. I am utterly overwhelmed and distracted from the present. Then I know that both my night, present, and the next morning, future, are ruined again. And then I know I live in the past, which is not as noble a place as it seems, but still a better place to put my mind than the unclear future. Oh, I am clearly not a visionary. Oh, I can't be a pioneer if I live in the past, my mother said. Although I may not be a visionary, I shall continue to move forward with my frail sanity as my guide. I may live in the past, but doesn't everyone? Should I keep going? I don't want people to see me crying. The stage drives me insane. I am losing my lucidity.
In my opinion, doing something, anything, on a stage facing audiences with those eyes, those eyes, full of expectation, is definitely only for somebody who has a special talent for that, which I wish to obtain someday, but not today. Maybe in the future I will consider taking lessons.
Speaking of a stage, there is something paranormal, something utterly magical about being on a stage, capturing the attention of intellectual contemporary audiences who have clear ideas of what they expect to see. But there are some talented people who play with the expectation, like ventriloquists.
I love that word. So hard to say, ventriloquism.
I'm a ventriloquist.
Oh, ventriloquist.
Well, it's close. It's ventriloquist. Ventriloquist? No, ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist.
Look, it's ven. Trill. Oh. Quist. Ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist.
There is a very, very, very sad, yet dazzling story of a ventriloquist whose voice ran away from him with its mistress. Yes, it's quite difficult to believe that there is a ventriloquist without his voice. What is the meaning of his entire act, then? He must have been in a swamp of uncertainty about his profession and about his life itself once his voice had gone. Oh dear, he was not a man without a voice at the beginning, without the voice that he loved so much. The young, aspiring ventriloquist then had to choose what to do with his life. Have you ever been in love? The voice had been his entire life. He didn't even have friends. All he had in his life was the voice, his one true love, but it was gone. Sometimes we cannot choose the music life gives us, but we damn sure can choose how we dance. One must appreciate how fortunate it is to be able to start over. He was still a brilliant man who found a marvelous dummy that could speak by itself without a ventriloquist's manipulation. What a dream, or perhaps a nightmare. Indeed.
Yes, well, another word for it is technology, a speaker, more specifically lip syncing, camera movement, personal television, stereo audio systems, etc.
The editor of the show has delayed my voice to trail the image by about 1/10 of a second, but you can't tell. But it turns out that my voice is literally not in sync with the words coming out of my mouth. But only when you actually shift it a little bit more do you actually notice a difference. How amazing is that?
Confuse the sound man in the sound check and make him think the microphone has gone out of sync. Hello? 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 It's not working.
You know, it must not be the easiest thing to do at first, but practice certainly makes perfect. Do you think anybody has even noticed yet? Thanks to the bewitched nature of this fascinating institutional aura, I meant a stagecraft. Oh, I hate autocorrect. This stagecraft. People won't believe that the dummy can actually make sound by itself, even when it confesses aloud on a stage that it is an independent unit apart from the ventriloquist. Which, by the way, is what all dummies say all the time anyway, except that this is the real thing. Artworks, a dummy, as an independent unit, not only can make sound by itself, but also think and interact with other dummies by its own will, without authorial intrusion. Unlike the believers of the ancient mystical religious practice of ventriloquism, where diviners would imitate the departed spirits, intelligent yet guileless, unsuspicious contemporary audiences know the old tricks too well. Too well. What a marvelous double trick. But then lately, I heard this happens quite often on stages. This is not a story of a single ventriloquist. But, anyway, I have to cease this quickly here now. Somebody's giving me pressure. It's too soon. I just told you this, but it's the moment at which I have to tell you the truth, that it was all a lie. I'm just kidding. This whole thing is a fiction. No such ventriloquist exists without his or her voice, obviously. Trust me. Here, let me prove this. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce my fascinating ventriloquist and her love, Carla Rode and Cecile Sinclair. Please, keep your ears and eyes, your hearts, open. Thank you very much.
He's so suave and debonair, but he's the one and only Cecil Sinclair.
That about, guys? How you doing? Great. It seemed perfectly acceptable. It did, with an autistic slur, though the guy in the second row fell asleep. Didn't you hear what she just said? She framed us as liars. The truth! Well, you're a liar. I'm not. Did you hear the trick part? That is part of your job as a lady of the night. Double entendre, folks. She said I lip sync. Yeah, well, you're good at that. Well, sometimes at least. No. ventriloquist. We're classics. Ventriloquist and dummy. There's no tricks. Well, you know, I'm the third Anakin American myself. No tricks? Come on, Cecil. We don't do any. Oh, and I thought it was the day of the confession. Confession? What? It's Sunday at the Jewish Museum. What are you getting at? Oh, nothing. Only that our contract was inked with the devil at the crossroads, signed in Daddy's blood. I'm going to kill you. You're all dead. No one gets out of here alive. Carla, what? I can't talk if you're not talking anyway. Oh my God, you're hinting at our secrets. Cecil, remember, you are the dummy and I control your every movement. That's why you're my favorite man. I can make you say and do anything I want. Ouch! You need to shut up if you want me to shut up, Carla. Would you please stop? I'll silence the truth that today we can be free of the lies. Quiet. You know, when my agent, Tappy Fleaberg, scheduled this, he said that it would be at a classy art gallery. You know, all this fancy schmancy art stuff. I don't even know why the artist talked about my personal business. It's none of her business. Sounds like it is, though, and on a confession day. Wouldn't it be a great opportunity for her to talk about all of her videos, drawings, artworks, sculptures, unicorns, confetti, whatever else she makes? Maybe she doesn't have any works. Isn't she an artist? She is. So she must have some works to show, right? Tons. But maybe she didn't make them. Maybe they were born and evolved by themselves, like myself! How are they her works then, Cecil? Well, how am I your voice? How are you not my voice? I'm an independent unit, a magical soul. Well, I mean, yes, you are, but you're not. Get it? If you truly control me, then why am I starting this nonsense speech that's called art? Because it makes no sense. Takes place in a fancy art museum. Ugh. Huh? Art. Ugh. Look, I'm an artist. My hair's messy, and I live in a gutter in a pickle barrel. Ugh. And I make paintbrushes out of elephant hair, and I go to school and paint all day. Cecil! Me. Picasso. Cecil, really, you have to stop this. If you're truly my mistress, you're wearing cowboy boots, I figured you're a man. No, Cecil, I am your mistress. All right, so continuing on with that spiel, if you are my mistress, then why am I starting again to talk about my insane love of saltwater taffy? I don't know. I'm just going to talk about it now with no smooth transition whatsoever. Because I can do whatever I want. I'm an independent unit, a magical cell, saltwater taffy. Great. Now you've ruined the art piece. But isn't this art? I guess. Now I'm going to sing all about saltwater taffy. Please don't do a whole song about saltwater taffy. It's 6.5 hours long. Sound man, this song is on a Victrola, so you're gonna have to switch out one of the satanic device you have up there and get out a Victrola machine and crank it up to groove number 1. Thank you. I'm gonna slit your throat. What? Oh, what's a salt water taffy? I've got a salt water taffy. Oh, what's a salt water taffy? I've got a salt water taffy. Hey, hey, hey. Who wants a salt water taffy? I do. I've got a salt water taffy. Oh boy. Who wants a salt water taffy? Yippee. I've got a salt water taffy. Hey, hey, hey. Ventriloquism. See that? Don't forget to give credit where credit is due.
Credit? What? Are you talking about me or her?
Well, talking about me, of course. You only get 5% of what I make.
Cecil, you're really confusing me.
You shall always be confused.
But I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. No, 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 yes, no, yes, no, yes.
No?
No.
No?
No.
No?
I am an independent unit, a magical soul, and I choose to end this madness here. Thank you.